Next, we're going to be doing They Not Like Us. They Not Like Us. Um, I don't think much introduction is really needed with this. I mean, this is Kendrick's last diss towards Drake in the legendary Drake and Kendrick battle. This was Kendrick's last shot. So I don't think we need much background. Stan, where you putting it at on the tier list?
I had the most difficult time with this one because, well, let's get this out the way first of all. It's not the greatest record of all time. It's just not.
It's not.
I've seen it listed on a number of lists, and I'm like, you guys are fucking idiots. It's not the greatest record of all time. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's not. Just because it's popular right now doesn't make it, or it was recency bias. Again, niggas have recency bias with everything, and I don't. I've been in the hip hop space for almost 25 years, plus 25 plus years of listening to it, breaking it down, discussing it. I am not a prisoner of the moment. So, Not Like Us is not the greatest diss record of all time.
Agreed.
I will. I am going to put it in the B tier for the fact that its impact was far beyond, I think, of any diss record that we've talked about. It's right up there. When you talk about impact and how you talk about how it impacted the battle, Kendrick is unanimously declared the winner because of this record.
Facts.
And no matter what you think about it personally, and I know how Reggie feels about it, look, it slaps. You know what I'm saying? The beat is nice, it's catchy, and Kendrick say funny shit on it about Drake, and it just got tiresome to the point because then I was hearing it everywhere, and then it became parodied. And once you're parodied, it's like, okay, that's enough.
Yeah.
It just got overplayed.
Hell yeah.
But if you
Facts.
just listen to it based on what it is, I didn't think it was going to be the hit single, the hit song that it became. I didn't think it was going to be played everywhere in this country at clubs and games and sporting events and niggas dancing. I didn't see that, but that's what happened. So I put it in the B tier for its impact and for it's a bop. I mean, I know some of the lyrics aren't Kendrick's best, obviously, and we don't have to go through all that. It wasn't his best lyrical performance, but it was catchy as shit. The beat was nice, the hook is catchy, and you're gonna remember it for a long, long time. I don't know how many songs from this Drake Kendrick thing outside of Family Matters that you're gonna really remember for years to come. There were better records, technically. Kendrick's, Meet the Grams was a better lyrical record than this.
Yeah.
But I would imagine that the record that's going to live on forever as long as this hip hop is going to be Not Like Us. So I put it in the B tier. And y'all have at it. I want to hear what y'all gonna say.
Wow. All right. Kurt, what you got?
Man, you tripping, bro. I do think this is not one of I will agree, I'm gonna give you some roses, Stan. I will agree. I don't think this is the top five lyrical song in the battle. I don't think this is the greatest hip hop record ever. And if you go by what it actually is, like lyrically, it is a B tier song. If you just go by just the lyrics of it, once he gets to that third verse and he says about the sharecroppers in Atlanta, he related that to Drake. With it gets a little deep there, in that segment.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
other than that, the song is basically him having fun and trolling. Um, this is the victory lap song. Actually, this is the song. Like after I done smoked you, after I killed you, I would take a victory lap and have fun. That's actually what this is, and it just so happens to catch on. The reason I gotta put it in, I'm sorry, Stan, I gotta put it in S tier today, bro. I'm sorry, bro. There's no way. I agree. It is a B class. I agree with you, Stan. It is a B class lyrical, especially if we go by Kendrick Lamar standards for lyricism, right? there's not much there. Like I say, once you get to the sharecroppers and those, you know what I mean? Now with that's the Kendrick Lamar that I know. Those 8 to 12 bars, that's the Kendrick that I know. The rest of that stuff, like I say, it's just a victory lap. Him having fun because he know he smoked you, right?
Mhm.
But the impact though, man, like, I mean,
Mhm.
listen, I don't give a damn if it was the Melly Mel song. If it has this type of impact, bro, it has to be like the impact of this song alone is so dynamic that it has to be S tier, bro. It has to be, bro. Like they singing this in clubs. This man won Grammys for it. Like, bro, in terms of impact, this is the biggest diss song in history in terms of impact. Now, like I say, Stan, I agree with you. We got B plus lyricism at best. Okay. The beat is catchy. The beat is not, it's not even a battle diss track beat. Do I like the beat? Yes. Is it a bop, like you said? Yes. But it's not a diss track beat at
Mhm.
all. This nigga Victory Lap song went viral. This wasn't even supposed to hit Drake hard. This was supposed to be us laughing at Drake. And people laughed so hard that he won Grammys for it. So how could, yeah, I'm like to say, I know, like, you know, we gauge things differently. Impact might not, you know, you're more of the actual song, you know, I'm the type guy. But I'm more of like the impact of it type of guy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the actual song, I agree, B plus at best. But the impact was so fucking gigantic that it has no choice but to be S tier. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it in S, Reg.
Wow. I agree that this is definitely one of the harder ones to tier. Um, Here's the thing that I think that makes it tough. I'm gonna surprise you when I say this. I have no problem putting this song in the S tier. I have no problem putting it in the S tier. No problem with it at all. Because this is without question the most impactful diss record in the history of hip hop. Um, there's not many hip hop songs, period, that had this kind of impact, let alone a diss record. This is without question the most impactful diss record of all time. On top of that, this this won the battle. Like, I know that, like we've said before, that you felt like, you know, Meet the Grams is what won the battle. There are others that think Euphoria is what won the battle, but I think that that's incorrect. This won the battle. Like, the reason why people say Kendrick Lamar won the battle is this song. It's not Meet the Grams, it's not Euphoria. It's this one. And
Even though they better songs.
even though they're better songs, this is the reason he won the battle. And I believe that this is the greatest battle in the history of hip hop. I understand you might say Prisoner of the Moment, but I'm sorry, bro.
Greatest battle, like
This is
back
the
and forth
greatest
battle.
battle, back and
Yeah.
forth. We've never seen a battle with this much quality going back and forth ever. So to me, it's the greatest
I don't
battle.
agree. I
That's
don't
fine,
agree with that,
but
but that's fine. I mean, it's fine. I wouldn't say you. I wouldn't call you a dumbass for saying that. So, but I mean, it's. But I personally think Jay Z and Nas. But you know,
that's fair. That's fair. But I just think that with Jay and Nas, it's Takeover versus Ether. Period. With this one, what is it? Like, your favorite Kendrick song might not be my favorite Kendrick song. Your favorite
Mhm.
Drake song might not be my favorite Drake song, right? So like it depends on who you talk to. So it's because it's so much quality going back and forth. So that's why I think it's the greatest battle. And this was the winner. This was the winner. This actually is the home run in the ninth inning that won it. This was the home run in the ninth inning. Now, if you asking me personally, I think it was a foul ball. I don't think it was a home run, but the general public,
uh,
the general public is the umpire, and they said fair ball. So it is what it is. But this is what won the battle for him. So, the Grammys and the Super Bowl and all that shit, all right, yeah, it adds to the impact, but that's some other type shit that we never judged. We never let the Grammys dictate what's popping in hip hop, and I'm not going to start now. So
No,
props.
but I agree, Reg, but a diss track won a Grammy though.
I agree.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying in terms of diss tracks.
Yeah.
Like for a diss track to be getting recognized on that level is something
Right.
different.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. You're right. You're right. So impact wise, like putting this in the S tier, don't even feel like it's doing it justice. It's like beyond the S tier. It needs its own separate tier for impact. But here's what I'm struggling with though. When we've done, I feel like if I put this song in the S tier, I almost feel like I have to like change everything we've done almost, because as we've done these diss tracks, I have leaned more into the song and then the impact along with it. For this song to go in the S tier, we must either be saying that impact is the bigger piece of the pie or equal. And for me, I don't even think it has to be a bigger piece of the pie, because I'm sorry, bro. Like my position has not changed on this song. I don't think it's a B tier diss. I think it's a D tier diss, honestly. Like C tier, if I'm being nice, I might put it in C tier. But I don't like the song. I never liked the song. I don't like the beat. I don't like his lyrics on the song. I think you're corny as hell. I don't, bro. I mean, obviously, I give him props for the A minor. A minor is going to go down as one of the most iconic disses ever, no doubt
Yeah.
about it. It is, and I did like it. It made me laugh first time I heard it. It's definitely played out now, but yeah, when I first heard it, it was great. The last verse on the song is good. The content of the last verse to me was good. I still don't like the way he delivered the shit. It's still as basic as hell. The content of it, phenomenal. I love the angle he took. But even then, I still just don't feel like he sounds so damn goofy that I can't even take what he's saying, which is some real shit. Seriously, he sounds like a goof on it. So I can't even hardly take what he's saying seriously. But that's gonna be my question before I even put it on a tier list, is that are we now saying that we are gauging impact the same or more than the song? Kurt, I'm gonna start with you.
Well, this is how I feel about this. Like you say, this song is strange, right? Because like if the impact is this big, then we have to. Like listen, bro, you can take the impact of you could take 5 S tier songs and put them together and not have the impact of this song.
I agree.
If the song is going to have this level of impact, you know how we are. We all look, like I say, Stan plays into you and Stan, y'all play into the song more. I play more into like the impact and what moves, what it's going through more. But it's always a healthy balance. It's never no more than 60-40. You understand? It's always balanced, as close as we could get to balance. Now, once we get balanced, then I start looking at impact and y'all might start looking at the song. But if the impact is going to be this, I don't think no other diss track in history will have this impact. I feel like in this situation, we have to, the impact does outweigh the song in this situation because the impact was that big. How can the first diss track to ever be performed on the Super Bowl? The first diss track, that does count. I know we don't like when we talk about an artist's career and who's top 5 artists, I don't really care about Grammys like that, okay? But when you say a diss track was so big that it won a Grammy, bro, that means something, bro. That means something, bro. A diss track. We're not talking like, no self-conscious. We're not talking about no club banger. We're talking about a diss track. Bro, not too long ago, this song was so big, we might get a fucking diss track category in the Grammys next year. This rap. You like this song was that big. So when the impact, that's why I say this song is special. We're just gonna put this song to the side because the impact, there is no, what I'm saying is there is no level of lyricism that he could have gave us that would be as big as the impact. It could be Ether. If Ether made this type of impact, the impact would still outweigh the song. If Takeover had this type of impact, the impact will still outweigh the song because of the impact. So I tell you what, you find me a diss track that ever had this impact, and then we can talk. If you can't, then let's just put this to the side and say, in this situation, the impact was that big.
Yeah, I think you make some great points. Stan, what do you say to that?
I just I don't know, man. It's like I'm still a was the shit good to me type of person. I'm still always gonna lean towards was the record good? Can you play the record? Do you fuck with the record? Besides it's always gonna come back to what I like as opposed to what the masses like. Again, the masses like a lot of dumb shit out here. So it's always gonna come back to what I like. Because all I care about, my opinion is what I care about. Me. So I'm always gonna lean towards what I like and what I fuck with and what I play, as opposed to, oh my god, everybody likes this song. At the end of the day, we're talking about with tiering disc records based on all of these things: creativity, the opponent, the per beat, the lyrics, the punches, the impact. All those things are playing into how we are judging these records. So yeah, there's some disc records that are out there that are probably really fucking dope, but nobody gives a fuck about it, or nobody's heard it.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't have much impact. You can't put it in the same category as second round knockout, takeover, no Vaseline, Ether, hit 'em up, whatever. So I get what Kurt's saying, and I agree with what you both have said. From my perspective, the reason why I've rated the song, I put the song in the B tier, is because while it's lyrically not Kendrick's strongest point, it is such a catchy record, and its impact is as big as any disc record. It is a universally, it's a worldwide disc record. People outside this country know about Not Like Us, know about the record. So it's like I said, this was a weird song. It was a weird song to rank because on one hand, it's so played out. You're so tired of it, but at the same time, you have to admit when it came out, it was a bop.
Yep.
And its impact has it'll be the most memorable thing from this battle. And I think people are prisoner of moments when they call it the greatest disc record of all time. That's a prisoner of a moment comment, so I can't really take it seriously. I can't take you seriously when you say shit like that because it's like, dog, were you born after 2001? Because you clearly weren't. Before that, because you don't know shit about hip hop. If you think that record is the greatest disc record of all time, I don't even know if I would put it in the top 10.
But I think when people say that, they're talking about the impact of it. I think that's just what it is.
Can I ask y'all a question? Can I ask y'all this one question?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Is this not the biggest disc record of all time?
Yep.
The nigga performed at the Super Bowl, yeah.
So how can it not be S tier?
Like, because it ain't
It's the biggest.
good, bro.
Think about it. You think about it, it's the biggest disc track of all time. That should automatically make it S tier. What I'm saying is, when it's this big, when it impacts the world, Takeover didn't impact the world. Ether didn't impact the world. When it impacts the world, when they saying this shit in China and they making TikToks in Australia, and I get it, social media has a lot to do with that. But at the same time, you have to give it. Like, niggas been dissing each other in the motherfucking 2020s in the social media era, niggas been battling, going back and forth. But this song was so big for some reason it affected the world. So if it's the biggest, I'm not saying it's the greatest, and I'm not even saying it should be like cream of the crop S tier. I feel like the stamp of S tier was stamped by the world in this situation.
Mhm.
That's what I'm saying. Like they doing this shit in Australia, my nigga. China, Japan, Afghanistan, Africa. It's the biggest diss track of
Uh,
all time. And just simply off of that, like I said, it could have been Melly Mel whack ass song. But if it had this type of impact in China and Africa and all over the world, then it would automatically get a seat at the table. Even if it can't afford to eat, it gets a seat at the table automatically, strictly off it being the biggest in the history of hip hop.
Stan, what you say to that?
I understand what he's saying, but at the same time, it's I understand, but it's at the same time, bro. I just can't. I'm not gonna sit there and ignore the fact that some of the lyrics in this song are not very good. I'm not gonna ignore the fact this dude's just what what. You know, no, I'm not gonna ignore that. You know?
So you don't you wouldn't put freaky ass nigga a 69 guard in the same table with Ether?
No, I would not.
Not
Again,
lyrically,
again,
not lyrically,
no.
not
Again,
lyrically. Hell
I
no.
understand. I understand what Kurt's saying in terms of how it blew up and the impact it had on the world and culture. I get all that. I do, and I understand why you. I'm not going to sit here and say he's an ass for putting in S tier. I'm not, but I'm going to say I'm not putting in S tier.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm not doing it. You know?
So where we
But
meeting
I
at? You
understand.
know we gotta meet. We gotta meet somewhere. Where we gonna meet at?
So I want to say one more thing though, because again I feel like putting this in the S tier is going to make us change a bunch of stuff. Because I hear what you're saying, Kurt. Put it aside, but I can't put it aside. We've set a criteria for every single diss track we've done on this tier list. I can't change the rules just because this is the biggest diss record. Like, I mean, are
Okay,
we, because like for
that's fair.
example, I got 2 tracks that I think are comparable. Not this is the biggest diss track ever, okay, but I'm saying I have 2 tracks that are similar in terms of them being diss records and impactful records. One would be Dre Day, right, with Dre and Snoop. We put that song in the B tier, right? So impact wise, that needs to come up. We put
That's
Drake,
true.
we put Drake's back to back in the B tier. Impact wise, that's got to come up, right? If we're talking impact.
That's fair.
And then the last thing I'm gonna say is that one of the criteria that I've had since we've started doing these is that when we talk about the S tier, if there's a dinner party and all the S tier tracks are invited to a party, does the song that we're putting in the S tier feel out of place? And I feel like if Not Like Us is in that dinner party and then No Vaseline walks by, and I'm not talking about Ice Cube, I'm talking about if we could make No Vaseline into a person, and No Vaseline is like, "What's up, man? What you doing here?" And then Not Like Us responds and says, "Oh man, because I performed at the Super Bowl and I had a whole bunch of people in Australia dancing to this song."
He probably beat the shit out y'all.
What?
He
No
probably beat the
Vaseline would be like, if you don't get your corny ass out of this party.
yo. Hey yo, but what if okay, well, so what if they let's say like they did a party, right? And they looking at and they look outside like, damn, why all these motherfuckers outside the restaurant? Oh, cause Not Like Us out there. Yo, it's 3 billion people out there in the parking lot right now, bro. Hey yo, tell that nigga Not Like Us to come in here. You don't think that would happen?
No,
Okay.
I think No Vaseline's gonna be like, I don't give a damn how many people dancing to this whack shit. He don't belong in this party. I'm
Yo,
not
you
saying
picked the
Ice
right
Cube.
one too. I could
Yeah, I'm
really
not
see
saying
No
Ice Cube.
Vaseline saying that.
Exactly. I'm not saying Ice Cube. I'm saying if you could make No Vaseline
Yeah,
into a
yeah,
person,
yeah.
he's like, man, I don't give a damn how
But it
many
would look.
Grammys you got. Don't come up in here with
It
that
would look
whack
like
shit.
Ice Cube, but it would look like Ice Cube.
It
Though.
would look
I know
like
what
Ice
you
Yeah.
Cube with the Oakland hat and the Jerry curl.
So yeah,
uh,
for
All right,
that
so look,
reason,
okay, so we saying what? What we saying is
hey,
a C tier disc with an S tier impact
impact.
that
Yeah.
would make it A, right?
Yeah, I'm good with A tier. I'm good with A.
Yeah, I'm good with it. I'm good with it being in the A tier.
That's fair. That's fair.
I'm good with it being in A tier.
Yeah, I think A is a proper placement for it, bro. Because I can't I can't change the rules just because it's the biggest diss track. I still have to play by the same rubric we've done since we've started doing these tracks. I can't do that. I can't say it has S tier impact, but it's a C or D level diss track and put it in the S tier. I can't do that, bro. I don't care how big the impact is. Like,
Oh, okay, so this is how I feel. This is how I feel about us putting it in A.
okay,
Now we have to change what an S tier impact is now.
why you say that?
Because if we're saying that Kendrick Lamar had an S tier impact,
You did
okay, how can you
beyond S.
compare that? How okay, so what does that make Ether's impact?
S, but not as much of an S. In a different kind of S.
Ethan
Okay. Okay,
had to say had
we do say lower S tier, higher S tier.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. We do
like I
say
said,
that low class B, low class, high class C. We do say that.
Ethan might have had the same impact if Ether was released in this time.
Yep.
Again, you have to remember
That's true.
time and era. We're in the social media era where everything, if it goes viral, then that's what it is. Back then, shit happened word of mouth. Back then, you didn't hear about Ether or Takeover until a nigga played it for you.
That's true. That's true.
And so again, different time, different place, but
So
again,
are we saying
you have to
we
keep
rate
that in account.
impact? Are you saying a rate impact according to era? Is what you saying? To like what was going on in that era? If it was just newspapers and your face was on 1,000 newspapers, would that be S class because that was the peak of communication at the time?
I think
Yeah.
that's fair because
Yeah.
Okay.
again, you have to keep things in context. The
Yeah.
same way we start talking about NBA dudes and who's this and who's greater and who's that, and it's like, dog, y'all got to keep this shit in perspective based on the era that these people played in, the era that they competed in. You
That's
have
fair.
to because things are different now compared to 25 years ago when we was all young niggas. You know what I'm saying? Listening to records on fucking CD players and computers and shit, as opposed to phones. Like you have to look at it that way and be like, yeah, thinking about what it was back then. Think about what happened when Takeover and Ether came out in 2001.
It did
Just
shut
remember
shit
that
down.
time
Yeah.
and remember how it was then. How these
Hmm.
records was all over radio, all over everywhere. Ether became a fucking word and
Yeah.
Yep.
became
Yeah. Yeah.
A
a word,
term.
a term in hip hop culture.
Hmm.
So that's what I'm saying. Like you cannot dispute
It's
that
facts.
part of it. You look at it from there. It's like, yo, that's why Ether is what it is because it spawned a term, several
Yeah.
terms actually. We
Yeah.
started saying Ether and that shit and stand. A pussy, a fake, a stand. You still whoop your ass. You 36 in a karate class. That
Yeah.
impact.
Takeover did too, because like people still say you on that Summer Jam screen. So like Takeover had
Yeah.
that too. Yeah. People still
Hell
say that.
yeah.
Yes.
People still say that.
Again, that's what I'm saying. That's impact.
Yeah.
That's 25 fucking years of impact.
Right.
We'll see what Not Like Us is in 10 years.
Okay, that's fair.
We'll
That's fair.
see. We'll
That's fair.
That's
see.
fair.
But
That is
like
fair.
when we talk about Not Like Us, we're talking about it in the context of today
It's fair.
when it came out and
Hmm.
the impact it had today, now, in current culture. It's different. It's similar levels of impact, but it's different types. You know what I'm saying? It's different. So it's hard to judge because it's
Yeah.
different. So that's how I feel about it. Again, I'm not gonna argue that it doesn't belong in the S class or A tier. I won't argue it. I'm just saying from my personal opinion, I thought it was a B tier record. And that's where I would put it if I was the one, you know. But I understand those that would say it belongs in S tier and who would say it belongs in A tier or whatever.
I think A
I
is
agree with
fair.
that. I'm not gonna argue it, but for me, it's a B tier record because Kendrick is mad basic on there. Some of the lyrics are really awful. Calling a man a pedophile, again, I'm not a fan of all that.
It's a
I
battle.
get
Fellas.
that,
That's why I
but it's a
disagree.
Yeah,
battle.
but
I
it's a
get it.
battle,
It's
man. He
I
got to
know.
do that.
Yo.
He got
I
to do
get
that.
it. I get it. It's a battle. I get all that shit. You calling another black man a pedophile. I
That's what
get it.
I'm saying. See,
I
see,
listen.
see,
No,
that's
listen to
see
me.
that.
Listen.
Okay, go ahead,
Listen.
go ahead.
I understand what I understand. It's a fucking battle. I do. Me personally,
Well, that's what it comes down
did
to, right?
that's what it comes down to. My personal opinion.
Right.
I did not care for that shit, but I understand it's a battle. Just like we could, like Jay Z, pulling out the baby mama deal with Nas. It's a battle. All gloves are off, but it's still
Too far.
some bitch shit. It's still some too far shit. Just for me. But again, it would be stupid of me to deny that record was catchy. I played it myself. My son knows about it. You know, its impact is undeniable. So you take that into consideration. But for me, the record was what it was. The song was what it was. Kendrick's lyrics were, but again, there's iconic lyrics, iconic moments on it that you can't take away. So I think that putting it in the A tier is fair. I think putting it in B tier is fair. I think putting it in S tier is fair. I just wouldn't put it in S tier. I put it in the B tier, high B tier, probably.
I think below. I think. As a whole, if we're gonna go by the rubric, and we have to cap off. See, I was thinking. What I was saying is we can't cap off impact for this. But if we're being true to everything, we have to cap off impact because it's a category, right? And it can't overshadow everything else. So if I take a S class impact with a C, maybe B class song, it's A. You see what I'm
And
saying?
that's why I
So
think. That's why I think it belongs.
Yeah,
okay,
So yeah,
I can agree with A.
yeah.
yeah, I agree with that.
All right, that was a good one, fellas. All right.